we see ceremonial procession. And as we zoom in on it, we can see the edge of the forest, a very large forest, kind of one almost uncharacteristic in Rokugan. And we see a group walking, most of their heads lowered, clearly a sign of respect and mourning. And it's clear to anyone looking on that someone has passed. We watch as a body is laid and readied for the cremation because we don't like our dead to return in Rokugan. While that's happening, we zoom in on a boy. His head hanged low, clear sign of sadness in his eyes. And we hear a whisper from the edge of the forest. Little bird? Little bird.
Mom.
You look up and you see a figure through the Shinnemin Mori cross from one side of the path to the other.
The boy would follow immediately, not really questioning.
You follow, and as you make your way into the forest, it's not long before you feel a sense of losing yourself on the path. You look around. You can hear your mother. You've had this dream a million times, but this time you hear her begin to scream in pain. It's not something you've ever had before, and you feel your heart racing. You see a scene with a bridge, and a man is staring right in your eyes from the bridge. And then he does one of those things that we see ghosts do where he almost blinks until he's right in front of you. And as he grabs you, you come out of your sleep. And we begin session 2. All right, we're live. Welcome to Legend of the Five Rings, the Topaz Tournament. We are doing a mini-series, about 8 sessions long. We're going to do some quick introductions and then dive right into the game. I'm just going to kind of point out people, and they can wave and say hi, and then we'll make sure to link out to all their stuff. But we have from Mortal Rolls, we have Sorcery Arts and Professor Tone, who are playing Yogo Akari. And Tone is playing Toritaka Kazumaru. We have Cleansing Rain, who is playing Hida Danzo. We have Mark from the Cat's Meow, and he'll be playing Akoto Takeshi. We have Rebecca from the Crane playing Doji Yuna. We have Yampa from the Unicorn, who's playing Motobatu. But All Things Fantasy playing Miramoto Kazumi. And GM of Revan, who is playing Asako Mayumi of the Phoenix Clan. So this first scene that we're doing here will just be later this morning. And this is, let me just move the right stuff. So we will be doing a scene at the Shrine of the Fortunes. And this scene includes Doji Yuna and Toritaka Kazumara, who presumably went to the shrine after this nightmare.
Kazumaru awakening from this nightmare, almost as a compulsion, a need to cleanse oneself, and would immediately go to the shrine, and there inside would immediately fall onto his knees or assume the appropriate position for meditation as he begins just to sort of just close his eyes, trying to block the negative energies that is within him.
I think Yuna would have been there, but it's very possible that in the panic, he's just got his blinders on and just fell down. I think she would finish up her prayer, cast a glance. Nightmare? Falcon-san?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. I'm sorry. I didn't notice you.
No.
And I'm sorry. I don't know you. Hi.
Hi. Well, you probably should. Doji Yuna of Clan Crane.
Crane.
I know. You're so lucky.
I've heard much about your clan. Your beauty is legendary, and your tongue, a swift as silver. That's what they say.
Do they say that about the crane in particular?
I'm pretty sure I heard it from, I'm sure present company excluded, forgive me.
I mean,
not
I think
excluded.
that's you.
I'm sorry. Oh, are you're in the tournament, yes?
That's probably one of the only reasons to be here, other than the beautiful shrine and scenery that is so vast.
Yes, the scenery here, your country is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Are you from here? Is this your home?
Not here, no. Where are you from?
I'm from just the borders of the. Sorry, I sometimes stumble on my words when. Never mind.
Oh, I sure hope that oration isn't going to be your skill that you're showing off.
No, my speed. Oh? Only. Never mind. I'm on the wall. You know the wall. On the Shinobu Murray. He says it kind of just to make sure he forgets how to pronounce it. He's gonna do it like Ash from Army of the Dead.
You seem more like you're up against a wall right now rather than on top of it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, from the wall, bordering the Shadowlands. And you notice like his eyes have this paint upon them. But as he says that to you, he just kind of stares into your eyes with both. You can see that he has two different color eyes, and he stares at you. But you can see that the paint is sort of unique amongst, I guess, the rest within the community.
I certainly appreciate your attention to detail. Did you do that immediately after the nightmare before running to the temple?
Oh, you mean this?
Mhm.
Sorry, it's sort of a family tradition. It's we specialize in hunting ghosts, and only those who have stared into the darkness and survived get honored with the paint around the eyes. So,
Edgy.
do you like it?
I mean, I don't think it's my color, but it certainly brings out your eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you?
How about I just like blue and pink. So,
And what about the tournament? Are you excited? Are you going to win the tournament?
oh, maybe. I'm certainly prepared to do my best. And if nothing else, I will excel in the ceremonies tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, I look forward to it. But also, I look forward to calling you a rival.
Well,
And
you
I'll
can
see
call me
you.
whatever you'd like, but my name
Oh.
is Doji to you, Falcon-san.
Doji, forgive me. Your first name is?
Well,
Is it Rina?
you can.
Or
Yes. But I'll let you know when you can use it.
oh, sorry.
No worries. Just, keep it in mind.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Doji, yummy. A pleasure.
Yuna, not yummy.
Right. Forgive me. Doji-san.
So, do you have instructors to work on your
Yes, I'll go find my friend Danzo-san.
Oh, good, a crab to help you. That explains so much about your communication skills.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they tend to talk with their hands.
Yes. Yeah, maybe. He kind of looks at you like, just kind of like, not quite sure what that meant, but okay.
Well, I suppose it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, I suppose it was nice meeting you. And I'll see you in the festivities tonight.
Yeah, you will.
All right. We cut away from that scene, and we'll pick up on a scene with Morobatu and Hiradanzo in the merchant area of town. Now, I have a question before we do so. I'm curious if Batu does stay at the Laughing Carp, or if he has utilized this yurt as a place to stay.
I think he'll at least give it a try for the first night. If he feels too uncomfortable, then he'll set up his yurt.
Okay, yeah. You're not an entire stranger to Rokugan accommodations, and it doesn't. These ryokan are just as nice as any inn you've ever stayed in. So with this, I'm going to assume that this is perhaps, and correct me if you got another idea, Danzo, but I'm thinking you might be going down to get any additional supplies you might need for the ceremony tonight. And while that's happening, perhaps you run into Batu near the merchant district.
Well, look what the wind has blown in. Batu-kun. And he'll nod his head down.
Um, he'll he'll turn to the sound of um his friend's voice, and he'll also bow and extend his hand as he usually does. Well, look at you.
He will accept the Gaijin greeting, grabbing it, by the forearm. And I think he would kind of bring him in and push almost like would be common between these two very large individuals to kind of testing each other's strength, pushing each other here.
Yes, Batu definitely meets him at that.
Well, I am glad to see you here. I did not want to win such a tournament without even breaking a sweat. Now perhaps some real competition will be here.
Ah, yes. I had almost forgotten your humility, Danso. But it is good to see you too.
Well, how have these last few years fared for you? Have the horses still been listening, or do they roll their eyes at you now?
Well, at least one does listen and doesn't try to buck me off as much. But other than, full of surprises, I'd say. Uh, didn't even expect to be here. Which leads me to, do you have any idea where that dragon person is?
I have yet to formally meet the dragon contestant, although I do recall on one of the letters his name, but I have not yet encountered him.
I see. I see. Well, what brings you to the market? Are you looking for anything specific? Because I know that I'm looking for food.
Well, I received some pretty acceptable food last night at the Laughing Carp. Which house are you staying at? Would that mean you are across the way at the Lotus?
I will say the house that I'm in because I totally remember which one it was.
Laughing Carp too.
Ivan Carp. Yes, but I'm still starving.
Oh, well, I was just, looking for a few bits and ends. I'm told there's to be some ceremony approaching, and I'm none too keen on these things. However, if something ceremonious were to uh, present itself among these shelves of merchants, then perhaps some coin would exchange. Really
Right.
just kind of tracking out the area, I guess.
I had completely forgotten about this. How do I have to dress a certain way?
Well, are
I was just going to
you
stroll in with
here?
my armor.
I thought that I saw on one of the forms that I saw 2 unicorn names, but I did not see yours listed.
No, that's why I asked for the Dragon Clan contestant. The unicorn didn't send me, it was the Dragon's champion.
Interesting. Friendship
And
among greater clans. I didn't
and
know that unicorn and dragon were friendly.
I didn't know either, funnily enough. And you know what's even more interesting? The other two contestants for the unicorns kind of looked down on me. A little bit, uh, what is that word that doesn't sound as vulgar in these lands? Disappointing.
Hmm. Well, their emotional disdain can't compare to your physical stature. Surely they only look down on you in theory, but not in a literal nature. You are one of the few that I even have to lift my gaze to meet.
That might be true, but their horses are a lot finer than mine. So slightly bigger. But I do appreciate the compliment, and you are quite mighty yourself, Danzo.
Yampa, I will get a perception roll from you. Just flat perception, please.
All right.
You catch a smell you did not expect to smell here in Tsuma. It comes from the further in the merchant district. You smell a fried dough, which is not something Rokugan is known for, but your people in the Unicorn have made it quite a regular dessert, let's say. And you can smell it from maybe a couple of streets away.
Danzo, you have to come with me. There's food from the Unicorn Lands.
Unicorn food here? Well, I would be foolish to not partake. And he'll follow.
All right. And as we kind of move to close the scene away, we do watch the two head into a part of the district where we see what looks like several yurts, like 3 of them, that are prepared and very much exotic stuff for Rokugan kind of spread out on this street. And then the main building, we can read the name of the building, which is the Merchant House of the Exotic. And with that, we can assume, I think, that this is where you get a lot of your stuff and most of your things. And we can move from there. So we'll cut scenes to the dojo, where this scene we have. Now I'm going to check in for a proposal of this. Mayumi does in fact wield a katana because they have the skill for it. I'm thinking, Mayumi, you're here because Sukune and Manit all but like insisted that you escort them this morning.
Mayumi will have sharpened her own blades and will look at Sukune and go, "Can you spar with me again? I really want to get this kata right. I really hope we can do it well for our performance.
Right.
And I feel unprepared."
Okay. So I'm curious for this. Sukune will be kind of your instructor if it is more matters of the blade. And I think we kind of see this montage of the two repeating steps over and over as Mayumi, tries to get this perfect. And from the camera angle, it looks perfect each time. But then Sukune says, no, not quite right. A little bit lower. A little bit higher. Oh, that's too low. And it's like more effort, no effort. Oh, now you're not doing anything at all. Up again, no, low. And that continues for a while. And after a little bit, in enters Akoto Takashi. Takashi.
Akoto will actually see Mayumi flat on her back. One of her swords. One katana to her right hand side and wakizashi on the other side, and she is burnt out. And she's looking over this taller girl who hasn't even broke a sweat, and then she just shakes her head, closes her eyes, and she's out. Like she's outdone.
Indeed. And I'll occasionally jump in with cultural things. Of course, there's no actual weapons here, so these are all bokken, but you'd have a bokken just like a katana and a bokken just like So wooden katana equivalent and a wooden wakizashi equivalent.
I think with that, we would see Takeshi approach, kind of observing the two, as he almost seems to stalk forward. Before he speaks up and he says, I take it you two are the Phoenix Sons.
That's right, Akoto-san. Well met.
He bows. My name is Takashi Okoto. It is a pleasure to meet you both. I take it you two will be my competition in the upcoming Gempukku.
Mayumi will raise herself up from the ground, seeing that there is somebody else here from one of the greater house clans, and they will also bow and will greet in turn. It is an honor to meet with a fellow champion. You caught us in the middle of some katas.
I see. And
Would
how
you-
does the Phoenix normally bear in their performance of kata?
You know, I know someone who is perfectly attuned to showing you exactly how the Phoenix holds their weapons and are more graceful and less sweaty than I am. Little stares at Sukune. In fact, they're the best.
The best,
Well,
he says.
yes, the best among our family so far. That is why we are the representatives of the Phoenix clan. Isn't that right, Isawa-san? I mean, yes.
That is correct. We are the chosen, much as you are, Akoto-san.
I see.
Would you like to spar? Not with me.
Or would you prefer a demonstration instead?
My sensei has taught me that the best way to understand the battle is to learn from experience. I would accept a spar if you are willing to accept it against one of the Akoto.
Very well. And just as you're about to, you see Matsu Chiharu emerge from the other room, from the adjacent room.
I
Takashi?
think with that, Akoto would turn and go. Oh god, what's her name? Because he would.
Chiharu?
Know her name. Taru?
Chiharu.
Chiharu. Go. Ah, Chiharu-san. You finally made it.
I've been here for 15 minutes, waiting for you.
I see. Well, in which case, I was just about to spar this Phoenix. Would you care to join us?
What's another 10 minutes?
I called you Isawa-san. I'm so sorry. Shiba-san. Are you sure?
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Are you okay? Okay. I will follow your lead in this matter.
Okay, so you wanted to actually spar, just checking in out of character. Mark's intention was to spar Sukune. I think that's what you set up. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because Mayumi took one look at Takeshi and was like, "Yeah, no, we're not sparring this man." So.
Okay. So I think it would be very time consuming to do a full Ijutsu.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, given that, I think we'll just merely do swords already out, so Kenjutsu to 3.
Yeah.
If that's reasonable for you.
Works for me.
Okay.
This is with a boken, not with a katana. So I would not get my emphasis.
If it is a boken of the size of a katana, then it would count the same.
All right, then I get my emphasis.
Yeah. And you see that she has, not only does she have the boken, but you see her kind of go over to a little bag that she has, and she undoes it, and you see her pull something very surprising to you. You see her pull out a war fan.
Okay.
And she holds it in her offhand. Now, this is something you haven't seen ever outside of the line. In fact, you've heard that the War College is pretty much the only ones that fight this way.
I think in which case he would ready himself in a stance. He's not leading soldiers during this, so he does not need his war fan out. His war fan is instead tucked in his side on his belt.
Okay. And with that, we have the duel. So what we'll do is simply do an initiative roll first, which we'll do. This is going to be your reflexes, basically. Let me just double check.
I think it's insight plus reflexes as initiative.
Yep. There might be I was just checking to see if there's an initiative roll.
A button, yeah.
Yeah, button.
No, but there is something that calculates it.
Yeah. Well, if you want, you can always type like 4K3, and if you want the emphasis to go off, you type E4K3 if you want.
Yeah. Adding. $19.
You had a 1, so you could re-roll that 1.
I can reroll once for the initiative.
For the emphasis, right?
Oh no, I don't have the emphasis for initiative. The emphasis for the attack.
Right. Okay, that's right. Ooh, you got her by 1. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and assume, I think, your strike here, just for narrative purposes, since this is more of a spar. Is going to be over 3. We're going to assume with that initiative that it's more a matter of whoever is going first is probably hitting, right? Striking first. So we're going to say it goes to 3 rounds, but you beat her 2 to 1. And the second round, she actually deflects your strike with the war fan and hits with her boken. When it's all over and done, you see her bow low to you.
You fight well.
Thank you.
What was your name again?
Shiba Sakune.
Chiba-san. Thank you for honoring me with this spa.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Your family was kind to me while I studied with them.
He nods. That makes more sense.
Have you seen Akoto Kaji recently?
Koto Kaji. Hold on, I need to check my notes.
If he's not there, we can assume you know him only by a higher level understanding, which I can give you. So let me know if you have him or not.
I do not have him listed.
Okay.
But I can make a history roll.
Sure.
No,
That'll work.
No. $10.
Okay. You don't know a lot about him other than he's an elder, sort of famous sensei. Like you would have very much liked to have someone like that teach you.
I have heard of your sensei. He is a great warrior and honor to the Akodo name.
Oh, he is not my sensei so much as I had a few months to learn under him while staying with the lion. He is brilliant, though. All right. With that, Chiharu says, "Come, Takeshi. It's about time to get started, or else we'll be late for tea."
Indeed. Let's make sure we are well prepared for today.
All right. And we'll zoom away from that scene. We pick up on a mountain pass. And I want to do a check-in here just to make sure this works. So my theory here is there is a shrine. You can kind of see it on the map for those that can see the map. There is a little shrine on top of the mountain, and there's a fairly large set of both a pathway and a lot of steps to get up there. My proposal is that curiosity would have struck the dragon to go check that out. And for our Shugenja, perhaps much the same. What do you think, Akari?
Certainly. Any place yet unexplored is a place that must be explored.
Okay. I'm going to get both of you to roll just an athletics roll. If you don't have it, I'll support just a stamina roll, unskilled.
Looks like it'll be a stamina roll. Unskilled, you say?
Indeed.
Not too bad.
Indeed. And I was going to, by the way, I gave you a free raise because the dragons are no strangers to walking up steep mountainsides. So, but what we're going to do is to say, Akari, as you sort of stop at one of the sets of stairs just to take like a 2-second breather, it's not too much after that we see our Miramoto friend ascending and coming up just behind you. And with that, we can start the scene.
Yugo-san, everything okay?
Yes, Miramoto-san. I trust you slept well.
Oh, it was a fantastic sleep. The tatamis were excellent. Very good quality tatamis. They really held no expense. How about yourself?
Indeed. Much the same. Are you on your way up?
Yes, I saw this. I thought I saw a building when I was doing a walkabout the town yesterday. I thought I'd go check it out.
I'm
It
on my
has
way
been
as
a while
well.
since I've been. Oh, perfect! Please, why don't we do it together then? Saves us going up separately, doesn't it? I mean, we could. I mean, technically, we're still going up separately, but come join me.
I would. It'd be my honor.
Thank you.
Miramoto-san. And tell me how was your travel here? Did you encounter anything along the road? Did things go smoothly?
Oh yes, it was really good. I joined up with the Lion Clan, and do they know how to travel frugally? That's for sure. I mean, wow, they brought a lot of retainers, like a surprising amount of retainers.
Indeed, and I assume that's a foreign custom to one of the Dragon Clan, perhaps.
Well, you see, I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to wage war. I'm not here to skirmish against people. I just brought my 5 closest retainers. I mean, that's all you really need. Someone to make sure that I don't get into too much trouble. How about yourself?
Oh, well, I'm glad that we've met because I can certainly help keep you out of trouble if that's something that you're worried about. I prefer to travel on the lighter side as well. Perhaps not as light as a dragon might. But I think there is merit to minimalism.
Yes, you're right. I mean, if you're going to a new place, why be burdened down with all the stuff from your own hot place? You know, you go to a new place to explore, to travel. Why bring everything from home? Kind of defeats the purpose.
Indeed. Interesting perspective. So, are you here to explore then? Is that why you've come to the tournament? You don't intend to fight?
Oh no, I am intending to fight. It's just I'm not intending to make enemies here.
Indeed. Just to fight with honor.
Yes, and to make friends. It's a great opportunity. We have a bunch of people here, everyone roughly the same age as us. It's a great opportunity to make new friends, new contacts, and just to learn more about each other.
Couldn't agree more. So tell me of your studies.
My studies. Oh, there's so much stuff that I've been studying. I'm actually doing a lot of work into the history of the Dragon Clan. It's actually really interesting, and he'll prattle off for like a good 10 to 20 minutes about all that he's looked into about the history, and he does it with such enthusiasm that you might even be interested.
She is interested. She genuinely is interested in every word.
Awesome. As we kind of carry forward with the scene, then we end with our dragon friend spouting off one story, and then we cut to them nearing the building, and he's talking about something else. It's like, and then, and then the Kami Tagashi. And so as you near the building, I'm going to give both of you a theology roll to get a sense of who this shrine is to.
Theology.
Okay, those rolls came in at the same time, and I didn't realize there were 2 separate rolls, so I was waiting for another roll.
By the looks of it, Miramoto got a 17.
Indeed. And that's going to be enough to know the basics, and there was no raises involved, so we'll just give you much the same information. You both recognize this as a minor fortune known as Megume, and he is, or it is, the kami of heroic deeds.
Has this been included in your readings?
No, actually, I haven't really looked at Megumi before, but just look at this architecture. Isn't it incredible? I said this before when I was down at the temple, down in the village, but the Cranes know how to build a temple or two.
They certainly do. No one would ever criticize the Crane for their aesthetics.
I know, they're nearly as good as my own. They're nearly as good as home.
Your home must be beautiful then.
It's stunning. It is out in the mountains. You have these beautiful, beautiful vistas, and you have temples on almost every hill, on every plateau. You should come one day. It is an amazing sight.
I would like to. I would like to travel. And is it different then to be traveling along the road if you're used to being so high up?
A little bit. I was not a fan going through the flat areas. It's kind of... Please, let's not talk about that. Tell me more about yourself. You haven't said a word about me, and I've been prattling on all day.
Well, I am an open book. What would you like to know?
Tell me about your journey. Tell me about your home.
My journey. Well, things went fairly smoothly. We met up along the way with Hida-san and Toritaka-san. Stopped on the way to a few shrines, of course, to pay our respects. And otherwise, the weather was fairly good. Nothing much of note. A good omen, I would imagine.
He smiles warmly at you and nods.
With that, you see a guy, looks like a common folk. By the way, just a little bit for this, it might come up at some point. The Rokugan people do not touch the dead. They do not handle dead animals, things like that. There are people known as no people, or ete, in this, and they're the ones that do such things, but they are actually a level below what would be like the peasants of this setting. So this is very much a commoner, not an ete, who's he seems to be wheeling like a crate. It's a type of crate that has two wheels, and then he's got the handles here, and he's coming down the hill from the shrine slowly, and all of a sudden the crate starts to kind of pick him up, almost like comically, as he leans the wrong way, and you see him wipe, and he bails out, and like all his supplies bail out all over the way.
Miramoto's just going to rush in to help, like just almost automatically.
I'll do a check-in because I'm curious. That makes sense for a dragon. I'm curious. These are people that if they do this, your average high station samurai need not respond, and perhaps the common thing would be to not respond to such things. Of course, there's always exceptions in people, and there's always exceptions in uniqueness. So I'm curious if our Yogo samurai would respond, or would let the dragon do their thing.
I think she would not move as quickly as Muramoto-san, but she would wait to see what he does. And seeing him move, she would go after him and help as well.
Okay. It's an old man, and he tries very insistently not to get you to help because he's worried about what that will mean, and then he's overly thankful, and he's bowing low to both of you the whole time you're helping. He has some scraped up arms, and his legs are pretty rough shape too, but nothing broken or anything. He seems to be moving well enough, and he, after thanking you for a bit, he says, Samas, you've done me a great deed. I thank you for this.
Do you have someone who can look after your wounds?
It will be looked after. I have family in the village.
If you need any help, or if you need any further assistance, come talk to Miramoto at the Red Lips, all right?
Would if it would not trouble the both of you, I would be more than happy to prepare a tea ceremony for the two of you.
Thank you. That would be an amazing gift.
That'd be lovely.
Okay. So you find out he does introduce himself. I need a name. One sec. His name is we'll go with Yoshi. That seems straightforward enough. So Yoshi, as he kind of lays the blanket out, sort of almost like a picnic style, and then prepares a tea ceremony, do either of you have... Actually, I don't even need to know that. I want you both to make a tea ceremony roll for your participation. If you don't have it, it's a unskilled void roll.
An unskilled void roll, huh?
That's right.
Why is Void giving me?
Yeah.
Is it giving you crap?
Not letting me click
Yeah.
it.
Let me just check.
Yeah, it's clicking up. It's giving me like stuff like use spell slot and void question mark and.
Oh yeah. Just make sure the use spell slot is unticked, and then just click ring roll.
So use spell slot void unclicked and then roll.
Yeah.
All right. Click the actual icon. Yeah.
And maybe we'll ignore the 10s for the purpose of that. I know it's sad, but it's technically a skilled roll. There's still perfect. Okay, you both do well enough with the ceremony, but what you both observed from him, or we'll give this piece to you, Akari. So Akari, you notice that the commoner's rather proficient. Yoshi's rather proficient in this. He seems to have some skill. Like you've participated in tea ceremonies before.
Yeah.
He's good as anyone you've seen sort of do this. Both of you have one additional temporary void until you sleep.
Cool.
Yeah. So if your maximum's 2, you get to add a modifier +1 dice to it. So.
And what was that called again? Sorry.
Just a temporary void.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a normal thing. It's sort of, I'm just adding that in. Yeah. And I think we'll cut away from that scene at that point. Okay. All right. So later in the day, all of you have had, you would have known this kind of going into the day, but there is sort of an expectation for those contestants that stay at the 2 inns for you to meet for mid-morning tea. Think of it as like a brunch for anyone that's also hungry. Tonight's meant to go late with the ceremony, and so this is a way of kind of providing a bit more sustenance, and of course the proper meet and greet. So we're going to zoom in. This will be an hour or 2 after these scenes took place. We're going to zoom in first to the morning tea at the Red Lotus. So this includes the following player characters: Yogo Akari, Asako Mayumi, Miyamoto Kazumi, and Akoto Takashi.
I'm really glad we can all come together and just have this meal.
Indeed, it's a lovely tradition. And Akuro-san, it's good to see you again.
He kind of blinks for a few moments before suddenly a realization appears on his face. Yoko-san?
Indeed.
I did not expect to see you here. It is a pleasure to see you once again. You look your mask is very beautiful. It is not to say you're not beautiful without your mask. I am just he sits
Thank
down.
you. Thank you, Akoto-san. Some tea.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, did you make this tea, Yoko-san?
I'm assuming the tea would have been prepared for us by someone else, right?
Oh yes, very much. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, I cannot take credit for such a thing. However, I can pour some.
Huh. You're quite elegant. I suppose it makes a lot of people thirsty. As she looks directly to Akoto-san and then sips her tea.
Miramoto's sitting there, smiling at everyone, nodding.
Takashi is intently staring at the table, doing his best to hide his now red-faced expression of complete embarrassment.
At this point, we see Shiba Sukune come in, the other phoenix, and she bows low, kind of exchanges a look, seeing the dragon and the lion here, and then Scorpion. She'll give a slight bow and make her way to the table.
And I believe we have yet to be introduced. However, Asako-san has spoken highly of you.
Yes, this is Shiba-san. She is the warrior who is with me to represent the Phoenix Clan. Very, very talented warrior. Would you like some tea? I heard it's very good. It helps to quench any dehydration that you may experience.
You're asking Sukune?
Yes.
Yep. She nods. Yes, that would be quite fine. Thank you, Asako-san.
Asako will pour the tea and look over to Akoto-san. It looks like you're a little bit empty there.
Oh,
Your tea. I believe the tea is on the table, not near. Anyway, the tea, and our faces are up here. Akoto-san.
Miramoto-san, what do you think of the tea?
The tea? Oh, it's a beautiful blend of tea. It is very it's actually has like a nice sweet taste to it. Really nice coloring and a really nice aroma. Yeah, I really like it. How are you finding the tea?
It is sweet.
I
Yoga.
hear that you've been training up the dojo.
The
Yes.
dojo is very great. Akoto-san is very talented and highly well trained with his swords.
Indeed.
Yes, it is the pride of the Akodo that we are not only good with our blade, but able to use so in intense situations where our concentration may be, and he looks over and goes, broken, dampened.
With
Although
that,
I will have to say, Shiba-san did outperform quite a bit on that last round.
Well, it wouldn't be a very interesting fight if we weren't at least somewhat evenly matched. I'm glad that we all have such worthy competition.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. Quite right, Yoko-san.
Oh, come on. Let's not talk about the tournament here. This is the time where we get to relax and hang out. We don't need to talk about the tournament right now, do we?
What do you propose, Minamoto-san?
I'm actually really looking forward to the ceremony tonight. What have people got planned?
A flaming chicken. Sorry, yes, everything is well fined and well seasoned. I mean,
Are you
everything will be
cooking for
fine.
your demonstration, are you?
Yes, absolutely cooking.
Nice. What are you cooking?
I heard that there was a delicacy from the unicorn tribe called fried chicken.
That's not what we discussed, Asako-san.
I'm
Sukune
very
says.
nervous right now. I'm very, very nervous right now about our performance, Shiba-san.
You'll do
We'll
fine.
be fine.
We plan to showcase a honorable moment of Phoenix history.
Mm-hmm.
An honorable moment, Yogo-san.
Indeed.
What are
Honorable
you all?
indeed.
Anyone who has history may make a history roll.
Takashi's not paying attention.
Can I use awareness?
No. This is more a history calling up. So it's intelligence unskilled if you don't have it.
We'll try that.
You'll get a free raise. Both the Yogo and the Phoenix, the Sako will get a free raise on this. So the TN will be easier to make.
An unskilled roll. And we re-roll ones, right?
No, not unless you have an emphasis in it. That's where ones get rerolled. So the advantage of having like a specialization or an emphasis is called is you get to reroll ones. But you both Miyamoto Kazume, that was your roll, right? You did the same? Just want to make sure. Or is that a previous roll? The previous roll.
I think that was a previous roll. I
Yeah,
didn't
okay.
roll anything for history.
Okay.
Miyamoto doesn't care at the moment.
Yeah,
As in, he doesn't-
Just curious, so I didn't want to exclude anyone. So the TN was 15, but the free raise brings it down to both the Phoenix and the Yogo. The Yogo were originally part of the Phoenix clan, and the history involves the Yogo curse to betray the one they love the most. So in a way, it was kind of a slight. Whether or not it was meant that way, take it as you will.
And what moment of honor is it that you intend to showcase?
Perhaps the defense of Shiba for Isawa. Though Asako-san is not Isawa of family, she is Isawa trained.
Interesting.
This is why I look up to you, Shiba-san, for many of things that I may overstep. More tea for anyone?
All right. Is there anything anyone wanted? I can zoom in or out of anything in that scene. Is there anything anyone absolutely wanted out of that? If not, we'll take a look at the other group in the Laughing Carp.
I would probably like to invite the table to play some Kumuri at one point, maybe tomorrow or the day after, when we have some free time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably your first free time would be the evening after the first. So tomorrow kicks off the Gempukku games, but there is free time where you're not expected to be too busy doing things. There's curfews and such. So games inside the inn would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so he'll invite the table to a game of Kumori at that point in time. For that time,
I would. The only other thing I'd like to do, if possible, I would like to try to gauge whether Shiba-san whether that was an intentional slight or an unintentional slight.
Courtier, yeah. Used to be courtesy, but they switched it for this edition. So. It's said so matter-of-factly, you're almost certain it was more like just two honest for their own good, not necessarily intending a slight, and there doesn't seem to be any tell like a smirk or any satisfaction at the dig.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Socially incapable might be a good way to look at that person, or at least someone that bruises people and doesn't realize it.
This tells me exactly what I need to know.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, we will zoom out of that and we will move over to the morning tea at the Laughing Carp, where the Red Lotus was kind of more quiet. The Laughing Carp is a little more boisterous. Like there's other people in here around the table, but the folks at the table are in any of you can opt out if you don't want to be here, but I recommend you don't. Kazumaru, Danzo, Yuna, and Batu.
I think. What's the sort of meal of choice here at the Laughing Carp? Hopefully, not seafood. There might be a shellfish allergy.
Well, are you allergic?
Never had shellfish. We don't know.
Only live once.
There would probably be grilled fish, miso soup, white rice. Is it natto? Is that what it's called? The fermented soybean? Yeah. Nori and sukimono as a salad as an option as well.
Batu is going to be eating whatever is the hardest for him to get with his right hand, just like very nonchalantly.
Yeah, I think Yuna has like an unexpectedly like large portion. Like she has a big old chunk of roasted fish and just like some of everything on her plate.
Danzo has
Kazumaru.
a super small portion of everything. Super small portions. He's uncomfortable at the formal eating, so he's 1 or 2 bites of everything and done.
And Kazumaru's the opposite, where being around so much of a delicacy, like with this buffet, his eyes might be too big for his stomach, and he's doing the overloading, where it's sort of piling above each layer of different whatever's at the table there.
My ambitious, aren't you?
Such wonderful food here in your country. We don't have what is this? And it points to like something that looks noodly and maybe with it, I don't know.
Those are noodles. Kind of basic. You don't have that where you're from?
Not like this. Not as long.
I see.
How about
Are
yourself?
you not used to things as saucy as this?
No. Please. Are you? You must be. You must be an expert. Tell me, what is your favorite meal here at the table?
The natto is very mature and acquired taste. I think if you really wanted to test yourself, you should try that.
At this point,
was that the natto that Moto was eating? Sorry.
whatever's the hardest for him, like whatever's the fanciest thing that he can't usually take, especially since he came alone. That's what he's eating. So if it's the natto, then that's what he's eating.
Let's go with it.
Like, you kind of see
It's
like
just like with the string coming out, it just through his fingers. Like, he offers some to he offers some to him, and then he kind of like nudges down so and go like, "Are you going to let him outdo you? He's eating a lot more than you, and you need the energy. You're big."
We see another unicorn walk past, and they just nod to you all and say sans, and with that they continue on. This was for Batu. That was Shinjo Haruko that just went by.
He's
And-
gonna kind of like side eye, a little bit confused, but he's not gonna give it too much mind right now.
Moto-san, forgive me. Are you here with your clan? I just saw one wearing the same emblem.
I'm not. I actually came with. No, actually, I came alone. But the dragon is sponsoring me.
Oh, I have not met the one from the Dragon Clan yet.
Me neither.
Oh,
With this, we see our younger crane enter. Look by younger, same age as you guys, but very much a boyish face. He approaches. This is for those that were in the previous scene with him. Kakita Saburo. He comes up with a smile and nods and says, "Do you mind if I join you all?"
Oh,
Not at
please,
all.
we should be honored to have some culture at the table.
yes.
For those that have a good eye of it, you see another person emerge. It's Matsu Chiharu, and she stops and her eyes look at Saburo and kind of at our doji, and then she huffs and she mumbles something to herself as she exits. Anyone that wants to hear, this will be like a perception roll. You don't have to do unskilled for this one.
Ooh.
If you have investigation, you can make an investigation roll instead.
Can I raise it?
Sure. What are you?
Unskilled perception.
It's my my disadvantage. I don't
Yeah.
know if this would count as.
Okay,
That's a 6.
Vera. Sorry, Tone. The our falcon friend and our unicorn friend, Batu and Kazumar. The two of you hear the lion well enough as she exits. She says, "I can deal with one crane, but not two." And with that, she exits the place.
Don't pay no mind to it.
Yes. Your reputation precedes all of you, the Cranes. You're much beloved in your country, I see, by some.
Some.
Mm.
Why? What have you heard?
Oh, just and then he kind of looks and puts food in his mouth.
Huh. Well, I mean, they might be saying the same thing about you that they're saying about me.
Hmm?
Being well, you know how people talk about the minor clans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
people are saying that, our crab friend over there wouldn't have been able to make it through the spar if not for the little enchantment you put on him.
It kind
I
of
was gonna look at that, so
time in.
The crab does not need magic to help them through overcoming an obstacle.
Hmm,
What
I
you
see.
are referring to yesterday was merely a rustiness with human opponents.
Right.
Dazo-san speaks truth. The
There
wall
is
is
no other
filled
way
with
to
much.
speak.
Hmm.
Of course.
Tell me.
You wrestle demons, right?
Oh, yes.
big ones too.
Yes.
I'm sure. It's so daring.
It's hard work.
Hmm.
We use
It
all
is
our
easy.
senses,
No. The common one?
especially. Sorry?
The common sense. Do you use that
Yes.
one?
Yes. Especially
Huh.
that one.
I see,
Ta-
because... No, go ahead.
Well, you should have come visit the wall sometime.
Goodness, that's your second time inviting me, and how long has it been?
Like 1 to 3 hours.
Oh, goodness.
He will say to
my break in there or
Kazemaru
something.
that the crane are not so much fans of mud and dirt. They prefer these quieter places.
Oh, okay. And Danzo would know that Kazumaru is a bit gullible. Oh, right. Apologies. Where do you perform then? Your mastery.
The courts.
Eye rolls from Danzo.
Oh, well,
My understanding is that Doji-san came from the imperial capital, Ryokowari. Oda-san Uchi.
I did? Yes.
mm,
If you'd like to visit, I'm sure we could all benefit from whatever bits of culture you could teach us.
I'd be honored. Thank you.
Hmm. I'm sure you have plenty hidden
He kind of
powers.
gives an elbow to Danzo, and it's like little thumbs up. I think she likes me.
We're going to go ahead and dive right in with the next scene. I need everyone to decide. I need a roll from everyone. You can either make a courtier roll, which is if you don't have it unskilled, versus a TN of 15, or if you don't have that, you can do a perception investigation roll against a TN of 25 to join this next little scene. So I'm looking for only those who pass. This might be nobody. We'll find out.
All right. It's going to be 20 for me.
Is this a trained awareness?
If you have courtier, then you can roll that trained. Otherwise, it's unskilled.
Okay.
That was a
you can
30
roll
on investigation.
Yes. I had to raise it to 20, and I got 24.
If I have neither, which one am I rolling? Or what's my unskilled roll?
Your unskilled roll would be whether you'd roll either awareness or you'd roll perception, unskilled.
Awareness will be an easier difficulty.
Okay.
Perception will be much harder.
Okay, so a show of hands for anyone who beat 25. Either 25 on all you had to beat was a 15 on courtier roll. We got 1, 2, and then how many people beat perception? Oh, 3. Okay, 3.
Oh no, wait. 40 roll.
Courtier.
Yeah, and then perception investigation. Who beat that? Mark. Okay, so this will be our lion, our crane, and our scorpion walk into a bar. So, yeah. The 3 of you catch wind that the Imperial barge has arrived. And there's like a big showing of it. Only the people down near the water would be aware of this, but through overhearing it with perception or hearing, being a part of regular gossip, would you've gotten tipped off about this. It's might be a big moment to cite the Emperor and whoever his entourage is. Do the 3 of you wish to be here for this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. You stop to see the fine barge come around the bend, and it's one of those things where you immediately, even without heraldry, you know the mon of the Hantai of the Emperor. It's everywhere throughout Rokugan. As the barge comes in, you see quite the entourage of Yojimbo and bodyguards kind of move out. Those of the Sepun family of the royal house, and we see the Emperor and what looks like one of his sons exit from the barge. Just after him, we see the crane, Doji Satsume, the Crane Clan champion, also known as the Smiling Crane for the scar left up the side of his lip, and his son Doji Hattori, who, if you know anything about him, it would be mostly that he's a bit of a womanizer at this early stage of his days. Immediately after him is the somewhat mixed opinion, or Kodo Totori, the Lion Clan champion, who took over after his brother Akodo Arasao was killed in a battle or a skirmish with the crane around border conflicts. Totori's rise, given that he was pulled out of a monastery to do so, it's kind of a hot topic within not only the Lion, but the rest of the Empire as to whether or not he's even worthy for the position. Immediately after him, we see the Scorpion Clan champion, Bayushi Shoju, and his wife, Bayushi Kachiko. They're greeted by Kikita Toshimoko and his son, and they are escorted in. So now you know that the Emperor himself will likely be witnessing your ceremonies tonight. No pressure or anything. So, yeah. Okay, with that, we're going to move to the actual ceremony itself. And for this, we need a different music. We need some drums, I think, for this. One sec. Let's do this. We have, just for the audience, we have Mark stepping away for something after this, and we're going to continue on a little bit longer past him. So we're going to give the Lion the first opportunity at this ceremony to explain what this looks like for everyone who's curious in watching. We see the entire sort of town watching from the outskirts. This is done effectively between 2 bridges in the town, so that more can see it. The bridges are heavily patrolled and guarded. We see the Sepun bodyguards of the Imperial Guard basically surrounding and making sure that the perimeter is secure. Within them, we also have a few select guards around the Emperor's entourage, which includes, as mentioned, members of the Crane, the Lion, and the Scorpion. All right, Mark, take it away. What is the ceremony of the lion look like?
The ceremony of the lion is a representation of all the lion is. They are warriors, they are commanders, they are guardians. This is a 5v5 mock battle, with one side being led by Akodo Takashi, and the other side being led by Matsu...
Chiharu.
Chiharu. Each showing off not only their skills as warriors, but as commanders, with Chiharu leading from the front as the strong
Makoto?
Unstoppable Matsu. Well, the Akodo commands from the mid, striking and fighting alongside his counterparts. Both of them, it is a very loud event. Both of the side yelling and roaring, while in the background loud drums are being played as the mock battle continues.
All right. To play this out, I think this will be more so a battle roll. So we'll get you and Chiharu to roll your battle. A 20 is a target to really push this thing over. Actually, let's sweeten the pot. 15 is average. If you want to raise and hit a higher number at the cost of it going wrong, you can raise.
Yeah, definitely going to raise. Out of curiosity, could my advantage Heart of Vengeance come into this, as he is intent on showing up the Crane clan, of essentially creating a spectacle that will be better than theirs?
Yes, indeed. Welcome in, Raiders, by the way. Glad to have you. I'll add one. If you want to throw tea at the Crane, it requires one addition. So a mock battle between the Matsu and the Akodo is kind of a worrisome thing because there's some internal strife with Totori being the king. So if you really, or the champion. So if you really, really want this to be an over-the-top sort of spectacle in the Crane's face, then immediately after the battle, it's you and Chiharu turning and facing the Crane together,
Absolutely.
showing unity in the clan. All right. I don't think Chiharu will raise, but you can raise. So let's see if either of you embarrass yourselves in this moment. Do you want to use any Void?
Yes, I will be using Void on this. As well, for my Heart of Vengeance, I get a keep 1 dice and a +1 dice, as this is a contested roll.
Are you raising?
Yes, I am raising.
Just
the
once?
Raise is to...
It's five target number goes up. It goes up 5 every time.
Yeah,
here.
so what was the standard again?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Raising it to 20, he'll raise it to 25.
Okay.
Modifier. Keep modifier. This is the moment. This is for all the marbles. Come on. 51.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So it doesn't make it a 25.
Yeah, all you need to be, so if you rolled 300, it'd be the same level of success as the 51.
Still be 25.
Yeah, and so it's perfect, and then we'll see how your ally did. Oh, thanks. Yep. So very successful. Again, she didn't raise. I wasn't sure that she would beat too much past that. So this spectacle, we see this great mock battle, lots of shouts, kind of almost like a bit of kabuki theater, like where there's the yelling and the shouts and the clacks of the boken. We hear the drums behind, and when the battle's over, we see the Matsu family and the Akodo family turn together and face the Crane, and then they face the Emperor and they bow. For those witnessing it, that is definitely, it's not quelling what is close to a war between the Lion and the Crane clan. It's really not. In fact, it's sort of doubling down on it. But it's also not out of character for what you'd expect the Lion to do. So, all right. Going to let Mark dash off here. He's going to leave his camera on so we get to see his lovely character's face as he's got to go. Once again, shout out to the Cat's Meow. You can follow a whole bunch of fun games, including Vampire there. Go check it out. Yep. All right. Now I'm going to roll at random to see which group goes next. So let's see. We've got the more concerned with the player characters. We got 1, 2, 5. Is that right? The Crane go next.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, Yuna has prepared a little story, with, some origami folding, as sort of a supplemental.
Okay. What is, you said it's a story and then origami folding, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got a little pitch for you at the end, and that would be to represent Saburo being part of this. Once the origami was made, you would toss it in the air and something that would float. And he would, perhaps you would hand one to him because you actually have Jujutsu too. You both throw them in the air. They begin to sort of float down, and you both draw and strike and cut them. And
Sure.
Yeah, demonstrating your draw and strike, what the Crane are most famous for.
Absolutely.
All right. We will get him to do the Jujutsu roll. We'll get you to do the... You get to choose. You can do Ijutsu, something to represent storytelling, or something to represent the origami. Your choice. So you get one roll. Same thing. TN's going to be 15, but you can raise it as high as you wish.
I have to.
Oh, so that doesn't count. That's not a... Yeah, that's a... When you raise that way, it's not the same as a raise.
That's I know. Yeah, that's. I have to say that I do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it automatically fails.
Gotcha. Interesting. You have to call it out. I understand.
I have to call for a raise with no added benefit, or it automatically fails. Yeah.
All right.
So yes. Do.
Okay, so what are you rolling? Which other three are you focused on?
I'm going to focus on storytelling, and I'm going to use a void point.
Did you raise, or did you raise any past your force raise?
No, not past 20.
Okay.
It was just my initial. So yeah.
And
I hit it.
Saburo will raise one time.
Okay.
That was close. That was close. Hey, thanks very much, Insomnia Night. Welcome in, everybody.
Hi.
All right, so it goes about as spectacular as the Lion one. For those that are of the Bushi, you might be a bit bored. Like, I think the storytelling is interesting for everyone. The origami folding, I can see it's like the crab judges, from the distance or whatever. But then when those precise cuts happen, it's it warrants a fair amount of cheering. It's also worth noting that the Crane have the most representatives present since this is Crane lands. So there's definitely a louder response of cheers, even though the Lion were boisterous. The Crane distance sheer amount of humans present definitely make up a more resounding cheer. It's not like, the commoners don't have any pressure to, cheer for their home team, as it were. Yeah.
I think Yuna grabs some of the pieces and then just goes out to the end of whatever it is, raised platform, and then just hands it to two of the closest children.
Aw, that's nice. Yeah, they're amazed. It's like I got handed something as a gift from Samurai. They didn't even kill me after. So, yeah, there's an exciting moment from these kids. They'll definitely remember this. Of course, they go through the standard process of, of rejecting it 2 times before accepting it. So, we will move on. All right. This will go to our dragon and unicorn friend. Or rather, the dragon clan and the unicorn who is let in through sponsor.
So we're doing a relatively simple demonstration. Something very basic. Something very skill-based. Matu is going to come up to the pedestal with an apple. Yes?
Yes.
Miyamoto is going to come up and he's going to draw 2 blades. In one hand, a katana, and the second hand, a wakizashi. He's going to kneel down in Caesar. His blades on either side of him. And he watches Miyamoto. He watches Moto very closely.
Okay.
He'll just simply lob the apple towards him.
Springing up, Miyamoto is going to slash through the apple as many times as possible with both of his weapons.
Okay.
Trying to cut the apple almost into pieces.
Understood. All right. Since this is katana and a wakizashi, the Ninten style that the Dragon clan is known for, the Miyamoto created, we're going to start with some rolls here. I'm going to give you 2 Kenjutsu rolls in this case, unless you prefer Yujutsu. Yeah.
Nice. Am I able to use my temporary +1 void?
You are.
Is that how it works?
Yep. And for Batu, we're going to give you a really low athletics roll. Yep. So the target number is 10. So.
It could go wrong. You don't know.
Yeah.
It could go wrong.
Have you ever tried to toss like a tennis ball at somebody and get them to like swing the bat at it? Like sometimes it just doesn't go right.
Like softball throw it and then like hit him in the forehead or something.
Yeah.
Well, the really difficult thing about it is making sure that the apple actually cuts in half and doesn't stick on the blade.
Okay.
That's the issue. And then I'm using 2 blades at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's double the risk.
Okay.
How does a 27 sound?
27. That was your second Kenjutsu roll. Next.
That was my first.
Yes, indeed.
The second? I get to re-roll a 1, but with the 1 it's on a 24.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll it. You can just write 1K1 if you want.
Yeah, sure. 1K1. There we go. So that'll bring it from a 23, so about a 30.
Okay, that's perfect. So what I did is have your raises, since you called that you wanted to cut it as many times as you could. The katana, you get through 3 cuts of the apple, and the wakizashi, you get 4 strikes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You're sort of almost like keeping it up in the air too. You know what I mean, with like upward strikes. Yeah.
And then, as the apple hits the ground, he's going to sheath both the katana and wakizashi at the same time as the apple drops.
Okay.
Then he's going to pick up a piece of the apple and take a bite of it.
So maybe you give me athletics roll, catch it, catch a piece.
Oh, okay. Athletics.
Yeah, and Yampa, why don't you do the same? See if you can catch it.
Sure. I
Sure,
wanted to.
Oh, did you have something? Did you have some flavor you wanted to add?
But it was after all of his stuff was done.
Okay.
I just wanted to give a simple bow towards the other unicorns present.
Okay, cool.
And athletics. Could I argue perhaps a reflex?
Yes, you could.
Can I do the same while I bow? See if I catch it, just for style points.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you both managed to. I mean, they were propped up, right? They got shot up in the air as they cut. So yeah, I think easy enough. You guys practiced this for a while. It's not insane. I think very doable. Yeah, and though the dragon entourage is small, there is a few who clap applaud from the crowd. The commoners love it, first off, and there are a few from even the other great clans that applaud. There is a bow, of course, from the unicorn. Actually, both of them will bow back to Batu, since they were called out. No, just kidding. Awesome.
Just a little bit. I mean, it was just a little bit.
Yeah. It's ceremonial. It makes sense.
Then we'll probably bow off and exit stage.
Okay. As you turn to exit, and we're going to move on from this point. As you turn to exit, you see a lady with a shaved head, a samurai ko. So she is Bushi, and she bows your way.
Mirumoto will bow deeper.
Okay. It takes you a moment, but it actually probably take you no time at all to recognize that this is Mirumoto Hitomi.
Yeah.
Though she doesn't seem to be participating in the Emperor's ceremony, and she has no entourage of her own. Yeah.
Understood.
All right. We're going to continue here. We got 3 left, right? 3 groups. 4 counting the unicorn. All right. It is crab time.
So what Crab will do, we have 6 in accompaniment, plus myself and Kazumaru. 6 smaller, admittedly. What did you call them earlier? Dojimbo, or the just my party?
Yeah, your entourage of people.
My entourage, yes.
Yeah.
They are all wearing different mons. To be most specific, they are wearing a flamingo mon, a kitty cat mon, a chicken, a insect of some kind that's kind of indescript, and a lizard and a horse. 3 of them, the 6 of them are holding a steel bar or a pole, if you will, and they're kind of spread out. And then Danzo will come up and kind of kneel to get underneath the bar up on his shoulder, and he's going to try to stand up, deadlifting the other 6 representative, or I think you can see what I'm
Yeah,
implying.
indeed. Yeah. Let's see your back squat here. We're gonna go ahead and give you athletics roll is what this will be. So that would include strength. Target number is 15. You may raise up to your void ring in number of times. Yeah.
I will take a void roll on it as well if I need to clarify that.
You're gonna spend a void?
aforementioned.
Yep.
Most likely. Now, I don't know what I need to do to specify that during the roll. But the only point of bragging or boasting, whatever, is to do it before you succeed or fail. Doing it after means nothing. So I would like to imagine that he gets part of the way up and then he's going to exclaim for more weight to be added. So Kazumaru, who was standing behind him, and I will let Kazumaru describe what he's going to do.
Oh, yes. Kazumaru's ready. They have been planning this for, I can't remember how long. But he's going to jump, and he's going to do that famous athletic jump where it looks like he's stepping in air. So I will do a theatrics pump up to get the crowd going for the part of the finale, and then finally land on the top. So it's going to be just that graceful jump, walking on air to the very top, and then Danzo will have us all lifted.
Okay. Now I'm thinking that this graceful jump to the top, to me that sounds athleticsy. Did you have a proposal for another skill in which you'd use?
Hunting.
I'm thinking no.
Tried.
Yeah.
I
one
don't
of
really
the
have anything.
one of the uses of void, if I recall, is you can spend a void to get to make it unskilled skilled for one roll.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, it would at least mean that your 10s would explode if you roll a 10.
Yes.
And
Totally want to do that.
And I will allow you your choice. You can use strength. Since this is just demonstration wise, you can use strength, reflexes, or agility to do this because of the timing.
Oh, very good. It'll be, let's see, perhaps reflexes. He's going to depend on the air for this one.
Okay. So you can make a reflexes roll, and if you spend the void, then you don't have to tick unskilled, and you can just roll it.
Okay. So for myself, do you want me to roll it with a void point? I'm using a void.
If you roll it, so you can use void one of two ways. You can click use void. That would roll you an extra dice and keep an extra dice, or you can make the roll skilled rather than unskilled, which would mean that you don't have to tick unskilled on it. So which way would you like to use a void? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that way that you just described, make it skilled.
Okay,
to make it explode.
All right, so just make a note that you spent a void point, and then go ahead and roll a reflex roll, and make sure it's you don't have unskilled check when you rolled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done and done.
See how that worked out? Perfect. So that 10 turned into a 17 for you. Yeah. Okay. So you land gracefully. There's a moment where, balancing on such a thing is hard, but you manage to pull it off. And I think for our Donzo, you didn't raise at all. I didn't hear a raise, correct? You just went with the standard?
Well, I assumed that the raise was to allow him to jump on top of the bar as I'm lifting it.
That makes perfect sense. So we'll assume that a raise was made for those. So this is again another great performance. There's lots of cheering involved. Things pretty much are even. Like, you would expect the Great Clans to do pretty well, and so far there's been no embarrassment. The crabs, pretty much all the crabs who are present are the group that are part of your party, your entourage. So they're giving loud cheers. They're the fewest and the loudest. and that's kind of the vibe there. Okay, I'm just gonna do this roll. Roll this twice. Ooh. The two unicorn actually go through like a circle. They round each other and they go in for strikes on each other like they're charging. But there's a point where there's a slight mishap and the Shinjo what's her name? One sec. Shinjo Haruko almost falls off her horse, but she managed to get back on. So it's like the biggest flawed performance so far, but nothing embarrassing out of it. And they kind of come out of it. It's sort of like when you see a gymnast sort of falter forward for a second before planting. It's that kind of thing. Just a few marked off points, but it goes well. There's cheers, and we move past the NPC group of the unicorn. They will. I think the Shinjo rides past Batu and offers like a nod from the horse, which would be like similar to a bow. The otaku does not, though.
He'll return it if they both pass by him. He'll give them a bow to both.
Perfect. All right. With that, we move in. We've got 2 left, right? Scorpion. Okay, so interestingly enough, you were left with the worst situation because you're the equivalent of the university student who has to do a group project with someone who's on vacation for the first week. So you finally meet up with Bayoshi Dairu, who comes from the Imperial entourage.
She would bow to him.
Mm-hmm. I hope that preparations went well for you, Yogo-san.
Indeed. Bayushi-san. Have you anything in mind here?
I was hoping that I could follow your lead.
Indeed. Do you dance?
What skills that under? Out of character. Okay.
I was just thinking, so I'll just be about what my plan was. She was gonna do a fancy spell trick, and kind of just she's gonna plan to summon her thing, but make it pretty,
Yep.
and a little bit showy. And I know that the Scorpion Clan is, despite like the Cranes being known for it, the Scorpion Clan also has a significant theater culture.
Yep.
So I was kind of just thinking, like, not literally like dancing, but more of like a artful sword dance sort of thing.
Okay. We could say like a kata then. So kenjutsu.
Okay.
Yep. He nods and he says, I'm trained in the kata of the Bayushi school.
Excellent. I think I can give you an introduction to remember. And I'm sure we will work together well.
Give me... Do you have empathy? I'll accept empathy or courtier.
Yeah, I have
either or.
courtier.
Yeah, you notice his pale colored eyes, very kind of notable.
Okay.
Right. With that, he follows your lead. So for you, what skill are you using then for this, or what are you rolling? You got any
I was
proposals?
assuming I would do a spell craft roll.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I am summoning Katana of Fire.
Right.
And notably, she would not have a scroll with her to do this.
Okay, so this is very performative because it just kind of comes out of thin air. Then
yes.
Okay, why don't you describe it for us?
Yeah. She'll kind of with a flourish, almost like mouths a whisper that you can't hear, but you can just see her mouth move ever so slightly, and kind of just draw it. It lights up kind of all the way, starting with like a spark, and she almost like pulls it out like you pull a rabbit out of a hat, till it forms in her hand, and then she does like a kind of a spin sort of thing, and she'll use that to kind of like introduce Dairu, and do like a twirl around him type of thing.
I think Dairu will start sort of like you would expect someone to start, or like a crane would start in the Ijutsu on their knees. And so he'll start with moving up to one foot and strike, and then he'll go through the motion of the kata from there, which is sort of like, I think the goal would be, how fire leaves a little bit of the path it just followed through. So his sword's like kind of mirroring some of that.
Going through that,
That's the goal anyways. I will get him to roll whenever you're ready. You can make your roll. Do you want to raise? I guess is a really important question.
Yes, and I want to use Void.
Okay.
So Void. I can't use 2 voids, can I?
No, only 1 per roll. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How many did you raise? Just 1?
Just 1.
Perfect. You made it. Anything higher would have. Yeah. And he'll raise once. Oh, you got lucky. Okay. That 10 helped. All right. It goes off very well. In fact, thus far, it is the one to beat, because both of you raised by 1.
Sweet.
This kind of goes well with a lot of the commoners, the Scorpion, both your own entourage and those in the Imperial entourage, cheer. Most notably, those who don't cheer are the lion and the crane. Sorry, maybe the crab too. Actually, you know what? Half the Empire just doesn't cheer. Okay, guys, it's fine.
Don't cheer for anyone but themselves.
Listen,
Just one falcon is like, yay!
Does the dragon cheer?
Dragon absolutely cheers.
Yeah.
Then Bato's like right behind him, like pretty fucking cool.
If you didn't observe the point of the crab is they're basically telling everyone they put the Empire on their back. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive.
All right. No pressure, but that I think leaves the Phoenix as the final group here.
The dice want what they want, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can paint this picture. Standing in the middle of the crowd, there is one drum. And as the drum goes, Shiba Sukune stands center stage. They draw out one sword, and similar to what you saw from the Scorpion, a little bit of a spark shows. But it's not just a little spark. No. This is the Phoenix Clan. Sukune will raise her sword and go through a very strong kata. From behind, sitting fairly still, is the Shugenja, Mayumi, who in their display will it's almost jarring because you're not sure how they're making it happen. It could be because of how they've practiced, but it's not the kata that the Lion Clan or anybody else witnessed in the morning. Instead, when they move, when Sukune moves one way, Mayumi will go the other way with the other sword. And as they do so, it's almost like they're doing the ritual, and all the swords that are in their hands light up with flame, and they do a fire dance.
And this is
I gave you a lot of references of the fire dances, but like it's
yeah.
pretty dangerous.
Right. The fire itself would not be the sword of flame, the katana flame,
No.
like
No.
like what the Yogo used, but this is instead swords being lit on fire. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Some like oil has been pre-dripped, and through that they sparked all of the swords so that they would all light up at the same time. So
Okay.
it almost looks like it's the dance, but there is something on the sword.
And is this just the two of you, or is there an entourage involved at all?
The music in the background follows the flow of the phoenix in the middle.
Okay. I mean, are your servants or anyone else involved, or is it just the two of you?
It's the two of us with only the servants playing the music.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, you can make. I'm assuming what are you doing? What is your focus skill out of this event?
Agility, because I mean I'm playing with fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a Kenjutsu roll then, not to burn yourself as you go? And standard rules apply before you roll. You need to tell me if you want to raise it all. TN is 15 to begin with. If you every time you raise, it's 5 points, and you can only raise up to the number of your void.
I used void points last week during that one meditation. Does that replenish after a long?
Yeah, every session you get one void back. Yep.
Okay, great. If that is the case, they'll use the Kenjutsu. They have a fairly high agility, but it's not something that they're used to.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just use the Kenjutsu and hope for the best.
No raise. You don't want to. Do you want a higher risk, high reward, or do you want to go with standard? Mail it in, make it nice and straightforward.
So with my Kenjutsu, it's a rank 1, but it's a Buge type, and my agility is a 3.
So 4 keep 3. 15 is a safe bet. 20 could fail, and so far no one's failed. So it's whether you want to risk it and go for a 20, or mail it in and get a 15 almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed.
Sure. So do I hit void for that one?
If you're spending a void, you would type use void. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on, I gotta pray to the gods. I have not gotten a good roll yet this session.
Okay.
So please. Okay.
Let's see it. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, you definitely should have raised, apparently. But that's okay.
I beat that raise.
All right. All right. Yeah, you do quite well. I think what's most impressive about this. We had a bonus card redeemed. Forgot to pin that again. Thank you very much. I'll find a way to make that useful for you. Yeah. So the Phoenix are right in the lineup. They had one raise between the two contestants, which was kind of fairly par for the course for everyone else. What's impressive is they've done enough practice with this to not be like put off by the proximity of the fire to their bodies. So it goes rather swimmingly. And GM of Revan, I'm gonna get you to give me a perception roll. Let me just see if you have a relevant skill. Investigation works just fine. Okay. For a second through the crowd of commoners, you swear you see the one you look up to most. You see his straw hat and you see him clapping. And then another commoner like passes by and he's not there anymore. So you're like, did I see him, or was that me playing tricks in my mind, playing tricks on me? Perhaps it's a illusion of the fire, or the commie showed me something I wanted to see. It's hard to say. All right. So the ceremonies come to an end. Everyone, you'll see two boxes next to your glory. There's your glory amount, and then there's a glory rank and glory points. And so you'll see a left box and a right box, and you probably have like 2.5 or whatever. You can bring that up. Everyone can bring that up by 3.
Glory rank?
No. Glory points. If it crosses over to the next level, then you go up to rank 3. So it's like kind of like 2.5 is what you have, and then you'll be bringing it up to 2.8.
So if I had, sorry, I'll ask later.
It's all good.
Say, so we should already have points there, or
You should have. I gave everyone a starting glory. Yep.
I see.
Yeah. So make a point that you have 3 extra boxes of glory, which is not a rank. A rank is the other side of things. All right. We're going to do one final moment for the night. I'm going to propose this since the crab and the falcon work together at night. There was perhaps a little bit of celebrating over at the old sake house. Is that fair? All right. Yeah. Anyone that wanted to participate, why don't we? Anyone who wanted to participate, we're gonna do just. Let's do an earth roll. It's not going to be a skill of any kind.
Just a ring roll.
Is it just the ring roll? Okay.
Yep.
Jesus. Which one are mine?
You'll see your totals in the total.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Donzo, you are absolutely hammered by the end of it. You shot after shot after shot, and
because all of my crab fans were so happy with the performance.
Yeah, you drank.
I'm going to be in there going shot with you, buddy.
Yeah. Kazumaru, you also under 10, you would have also had a bit of trouble with that. So you're kind of stumbling, and we're actually going to zoom in on you in a second. So just give me a sec there. And we'll assume everyone else beat a 10. So everyone else, you're left at a level where whatever level you wanted to be at, you were there. If you wanted to go a little bit overboard, you could. If you wanted to, just to have a sip of drink, you could do so. But at the end of the night, everyone goes to separate, and we watch as Danzo and sorry, I get mixed up between Kazumaru and Kazumi sometimes. Kazumaru, the two of you are kind of walking back through the town. By walking back, it's not so much straight as it is veering to the right and then veering to the left, as the two of you maybe sing some songs in celebration, and you kind of walking through the town. You're heading back, and I think, given the state of Danzo, you wander over to the water to relieve yourself after the situation. And so the scene zooms in for a second on Kazumaru, and you look over and you see that bridge from your dream, and you see the dead man that stands upon it.
Wait. See, he stares, and if he's able to move, he'll walk towards it.
Okay. You walk towards the edge of the bridge, and as you get closer, you can hear sounds of what sounds like a skirmish. They're muffled though, like they're in the distance. You see the man a bit closer now. You can see he's dressed very much as perhaps a lord even. Looks greater than your average samurai might be dressed. You see a mon, very difficult to see at first, but squinting close enough. I'll give you an investigation roll.
Okay. If I don't have investigation, I'm rolling a
Perception.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Unskilled.
Yes.
Okay. 19.
You see the mon of the Badger, another minor clan.
What do I know about the Badger?
Do you have history?
I don't have history.
Okay.
I
You
do
do-
have lower spirit realms, if this helps at all.
You are confident that they're not involved with anything of the spirit realm. Last you heard, they were to protect maybe one of the borders of the Gaijin somewhere in the north. It's kind of they protect. So you can't remember whether it's dragon lands or unicorn lands, but somewhere up there they protect a border, and that is very much their own. Each of the minor clans dedicated to a smaller task that the other great clans aren't involved in.
And I think if I'm under the influence, I'll point and I'll say, I know, I seen you before.
And with that, he blinks and he's like right in front of you, and he grabs your hand. You can feel the coldness of his touch. And he says, "Avenge me." And with that, Danzo, you kind of return back a bit blurry visioned, and you see Kazumaru with his hand out by himself. Like just almost like raising his hand upward at the water. Yeah.
I was imitating. He was like
Yeah.
leaning against the wall.
I gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Shake it off, buddy. Shake it.
Toitaka-san, what are you doing?
Kazumaro slowly turns around, head down, his eyes up. You see his 2-color eyes meet yours. I have to avenge him. And then he'll pass out drunk.
You notice, actually you might not notice. You can give me a perception investigation. Is there a way to add a modifier on it? Let's see.
Yes.
Just do a perception roll, and you're gonna have a negative because you're seeing double vision right now. So try a roll modifier of -1, and make sure it's unskilled.
You meet it.
You notice almost like a strange burn on his wrist.
Fire magic must have. And he'll just kind of start to to gather up Kazumaru and maybe toss him on his shoulder. I don't know. That'd probably be pretty hard balance wise to bend over.
You try, and then
You might fall into the water.
He's real flush. His head's either top of his head's pale, but because his face is really red.
Okay. And with that, we bring ourselves to a close for the night. This has been episode 2 of our Legend of the Five Rings story, the Topaz Tournament. Just going to do some quick shout outs for the gang. We have the Cat's Meow, who had to leave. Not to call him out, Mark. But no, I'm just kidding. We had Mark, who graciously left his camera on for us while we closed out the end of the session. We have Rie and Tone from Mortal Rolls. We have Cleansing Rain, not Clean Sin Grain. Thank you very much, sir. We have GM of Revan, All Things Fantasy, and myself, Rebecca and Yampa, from our shows and friend-related shows. A lot of us are streamers. We're doing this as a collab between a whole bunch of different channels. We'll make sure the channels are in the links and shout it out too. Thank you very much for the night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care, y'all.